شوقا إلى المولى أتاي أسلمت روحي للإله.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Yusuf Chambers. I'm 50 years of age. I embraced Islam at least 20 years ago. I live in Britain. I actually live in Leicester right now, and I'm the founder and one of the trustees of Islamic Education and Research Academy, and I'm so happy to be a Muslim. The reality is that there was no life. There was no life. Because how can you have a life if you have no purpose? If you have no, if you go on a journey, you see?
I know.
And I tell you, on that journey, I'm just traveling, but I don't have a destination. Does this make sense? We don't even ask who put us on that journey. It's like, مثلاً, it's like being locked in a dark room with your hands tied, with your eyes are covered, your ears are blocked, your mouth is gagged. And you know, like that's for 26 years I was in that room. For 2 weeks, I read about Islam. I read about every aspect of Islam, from the Salah, from the Quran, from the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, from the Seerah, from the history, from every aspect of Islam for 2 solid weeks. I did nothing but read about Islam. And after reading, one day I took the decision, after reading about Ramadan, about the Siyam, fi Ramadan, that I would do the Siyam. So that day was the day, subhanallah, it was like somebody had removed the blindfold from my eyes. When I was fasting in the Ramadan, fasting for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in that month, on that day, it was like somebody opened the doors of that dark room I was sitting in, and they removed the blindfold. They took the cotton wool out of my ears. They removed my gag, and I could see everything clearly. The moment really of awakening for me was fasting in the month of Ramadan. I read Al-Fatiha, the opening, and it's very appropriate. It's the opening of a new dawn, of a new way, of a new civilization for me. So, what I did was I compared this to the Lord's Prayer, the Christian Lord's Prayer, yeah? And it looked very similar, but it was much less confusing. So, when I read Al-Fatiha, this was one of the defining moments for me. The other chapter would have been Qul Huwa Allahu Ahad, Ikhlas, because it defines Islam straight away, and there's just nothing simpler and there's nothing more pure than Islam from Tawheed perspective, from oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that perspective. So in the case of your life, the Quran is the book of instruction. If you don't have the manual, you have to find it. And if you can't find it, your life is meaningless.
قرآني هو جنتي هو آية الأكوان